Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video on how to create a mixed media background. You're going to need to start with a range of stencils, and these can be any size stencils, anything that creates texture. Select some crayons, 2 to 3 colours only, and I try to keep these colours fairly similar. And then I'm just filling up my entire page using these stencils, and I'm going to swap to different patterns on different sections of my page. You can see I'm overlapping colours as well, just to create a continuity of colour across that page. You won't see a lot of this at the end, so don't be precious about it at this point. Okay, so once you have created that resist with the crayon, you're going to add wet media over the top of this. I like to use color dye, but you can use watercolor or you can use any other ink dye that you want to use. Again, I'm only using 2 colors and I'm contrasting these colors. So you can see I used a cool color for my crayon and my wet media is a warm color. Spread it around with a brush and just remember to blot off any excess media that may be sitting on top of that when you're finished. The step now is to build up the next lot of layers with more stencils. I personally like geometric shapes and letters. You don't have to stick with this, but I am contrasting with those original layers that I'm using, and I need some acrylic paint, probably some white to lighten it up, and a dry large brush. So I'm just going to then dry brush my stencils over my background, and you'll see here I'm what I call grounding my stencils. So that means I'm working them to the edge. I'm not plonking them in the middle of my page. Make sure that you try and keep your stencils, if they are geometric patterns, perpendicular to your edges. So they're not on an angle, they're upwards or they're sideways as you go through. You can see here I've changed to a circular pattern. I'm still using the same color that I was using, but I've gone slightly darker, and in some areas I'll go lighter as well. The color that I've chosen complements the colors that are underneath, and I'm working back in the cool range as well. And now I'm going to my letter stencils, and again I'm using a contrasting color, but I'm still within that cool selection of colors. So this time I'm working with a darker blue, and again some areas I'll brush some white into it if it's quite dark underneath, or I'll do darker stencils in lighter areas, and just working backwards and forwards with those. If you need to add more of your shape stencils back into it, do so. This is all about just building up lots and lots of layers so that you're having visual interest in all of the sections that you see. Lastly, you can choose to do a color scrape over the top, and this is just grabbing some colors from your first layer, or you can use white as well. And this is a good way to actually cover up areas that might not be working, that are too messy, that are too dark, and I'm just scraping the paint in from the edges. So I'm using quite a transparent color here, the yellow, but I am picking up some darker color as well. And like I said, if there's particular sections that aren't working, cover it up or use lighter colors to highlight sections that might be a bit dark. What you're seeing here are some examples of this technique, and then you'll see a portrait and a potted plant painting that has been done over the top of one of these backgrounds, so that you can see how it creates an interesting background for further painting into in whatever media subject you choose.